unroll it, this is the way you want to hold it. If you hold it like this, you're going to lose control of it. You lose control of it, you stop. If you're halfway through a wrap, you unwrap and you start over again. You roll it up and you start again. Even in your test, and the clock doesn't stop. All right? So we're going to use those wraps. Before we start, what we want to do is make sure that we get tape. Usually 4 pieces of tape should be plenty, at least to get us started. And you put them down here because nothing's more frustrating than getting to the end of a perfect wrap and finding out that you need 2 hands to get tape to hold it, because then you lose the wrap. All right? So make sure that you get your tape first.
They're having a lot more fun than we did.
These are 4-inch. They're about 6 feet. These are 4-inch wide. You can use 3-inch if you want. Never use 2-inch. Don't use a 4-inch because you can't make your turns are too tight and it'll pucker if it's a 4-inch wide.
But you said this was
I mean a 6-inch.
Okay.
So 4-inch is the ones that you want, not a 6-inch, not a 2-inch. 3 or 4 is fine. Takes 2 of them. You should be able to do it, and you're going to be tested on being able to do it with just 2 4-inch wraps. If it's a large limb or you have a little mistake that you just want to take care of, you just add another wrap. Right? But for you, not. You're going to do it with just 2.
Right.
Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start medially. I'm going to start above the knee. I'm going to leave myself plenty of flap because I'm going to bring an anchor around that. Okay? And this is in your book, Sullivan and Schmidt. It's just, when you look at it, it's hard to figure out. It's really not hard to do. I think it's harder to look at in the book. You're going to come to the opposite corner of the stump, just like this. So I start immediately, I come laterally. Come back up above the knee, and I come around the back like this, and I capture that in an anchor. All right? At this point, I'm going to stop. I'm going to make sure I don't have any wrinkles, because if I trap wrinkles in there, I trap force lines. Right? So when I come around like this, and I don't have to come back above the knee again. Come down like this, and I'm just going to do figures of 8. Do not wrap this way. Because if you do that, you'll create a tourniquet effect. And you'll trap fluid, and you'll defeat your purpose. So everything is going to be figure of 8, like this. You got 2 turns at it. Before you're done, you're going to want the entire limb covered. You're going to want at least 3 layers down here at the distal end, because that's where your biggest problem with pressure is going to be. You don't want to end your wrap on the distal end of the stump either. So I'm going to look at that. I'm not real happy with that. I'll bring that around. I'll bring that around a little bit. So now I've got coverage at the end completely, right? Yes, can you do?
Great job.
I'm not looking for a great job, because what's going to happen is it's going to unravel on me or something. So I don't deserve any praise yet. Now, what I'm going to do is, if this is really a person, I'm feeling under here, and there's a great big spot that I didn't get at all. Now, I've got to get that on my next go-around at least 2 times, right? So, see there? This I'm happy with. This is okay. This I got to catch. So if I don't, I have to start over with my second wrap. All right? So now I'm ready for this wrap. This one I started on the medial side over here. Came laterally. So the next wrap I'm going to start on the lateral side and come medially. When
Same
I snug
height.
That, what's that?
Same height on both sides.
I don't have to go above the knee.
Okay.
I'm not going to do an anchor with this one, because this is anchored by this. This will anchor to this.
Okay.
I'll need one around above the knee. Unless it's not working, then I can do it exactly the same way, just coming from the opposite direction. But I don't need to. Okay? So what I'm going to do is that. Start like this, because I'm wrapping the opposite direction. So each time I cinch that, and I snug it when I come around there, because I want good pressure down there, and I want less up here. So each time I make a turn around there, I'm going the opposite direction from the turns that I was doing the first time. And I'm doing figures of 8, so it should look something like a herringbone by the time I'm finished. I'm not real happy with what's happening at the end, so I better pay attention to that. Less up there. Down here.
You still have a hole.
So I'm going to start over. And this isn't unusual. People who do it every day, they don't do this. People who do it once in a while, they do this. Okay? Because why don't I want that hole back there?
Because it's pressure.
There's pressure on it. And when they unwrap it, there's going to be a blister and a red spot that shape. And that's hard to defend as being due to something other than your negligence. Okay, so I'm going to try again. So there's where I want to be, right there, right? So I still come down here, cross like this.
I get it.
You're going so fast.
I know.
Yeah, I got that. Now I'm happy. See me smile? So see the herringbone that ends up in the front? That's what it should look like. See that?
Oh, I see.
That's a figure of 8, correct?
That's like in V's.
Just like this.
And you don't have to worry about.
This is what you have to worry about most. It's here, but look how many layers I have. 1, 2, 3, 4 layers, right? I'm a little worried about that I saw a little skin peeking through, but I got 3 layers on top of it. I've got 3 to 4 layers covering the distal end of that extremity, so I'm good.
Okay.
This is what needs the most attention, right here. When I do this, I also do not want the tape to touch their skin. Because if it irritates their skin because they're allergic to it, or causes any skin breakdown up here, then I've created another problem. Okay? So let's see how I did. Okay? Am I all covered in the back?
Yes.
You see any wrinkles trapped? See the lines of the A-strap, but that's unavoidable. There's no wrinkles. Looks like a nice herringbone. I've got, like I said, 3 to 4 layers of wrap on the end there where I need it the most. It's tied around the turns. It's loose here. I can get my fingers under there because that's just the anchor. If this is the tightest part, I trap all the fluid down here and it swells out into this. Got a little bit of a peek hole here for the patella, so when they bend their knee and straighten their knee, right?
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a big thing, but there's no problem with this because there's only one layer that's loose above here. So their patella moves quite nicely anytime that they want to bend their knee. Okay? So that's what it should look like. You have any questions about that? Should we do it again? Just to make sure, or do you just want to go do it?